Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Bannock. My name is Jeanette Bruce, and I'm the program coordinator at Whistler Public Library. And I am really delighted to be here today speaking with Tylas Smith. And before we start our conversation, I want to express my gratitude that we are able to gather on virtually on the shared unceded territories of the Squamish Nation and the Lilwat Nation. We are so lucky to live, work, and play on these territories, and so lucky to have a place like the Squamish Lilwat Cultural Center where we can learn and make community, and we're so lucky to have this beautiful place. Just a tiny bit of housekeeping. If you're watching on Facebook, hi, thanks for being here. Thanks to the SLCC for letting me take over their Facebook feed for a minute. And we would love to hear from you if you're watching on Facebook. So if you want to leave a comment saying hello or asking a question to Tylas, then you are welcome to do so. I'm going to be keeping an eye on the comments over on Facebook, so I will pass those along. And I see that there are already some people watching us, so hello, everybody. Tylas, can you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Tylas Smith. I'm from the Lilwat Nation. I live in Montgomery, and I am happy to be live with you today.
So happy to have you. Tylas, how does it feel to have the SLCC be open again?
I'm really excited. I'm actually sitting in the cafe right now. There's a bit of people going by already. Yeah,
It feels like it's been a long time, but
has
it's
been.
so great that folks can go back in to the building and of course visit the Thunderbird Cafe. Let's take it back in time. Like some of your other colleagues, you were also part of the Indigenous Youth Ambassador program. Is that correct?
Yes, it was actually called the Aboriginal Youth Ambassador when I joined, but it is now the Indigenous Youth Ambassador Program.
Cool. Now, can you tell us a little bit about how you heard about the program, about how old you were when you did the program, and if there were any highlights?
Yes, I think I was 19, and I was actually taking a program at our local college, our TISIL, and one of my instructors told me to check it out. So I checked it out, and it really caught my interest. So I did apply, and I bugged a couple of my friends to apply, so they joined along with me, and I'm really glad I took it. It's one of the best experiences.
And now, as I understand, in the program, you kind of get to try a little bit of everything, right? Did you have any favorite parts of the experience?
Well, I did enjoy it all. We did get to learn in each of our departments, our cultures upstairs in the museum, our gift shops, all about the artists and their art, and obviously the cafe and all our indigenous foods. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do after my program. Yeah, I didn't know, but I did take a job in the kitchen and cafe. I started out as just actually a dishwasher for our breakfast. And after that, I started learning how to help prep and cook some of the breakfasts we did. Then, after a year or so, I started learning how to run our cafe. I started learning how to do all the odd jobs, all the different things. And eventually, I started becoming a little really good at it. So after maybe 2.5 years or so, they gave me the cafe lead title, which is pretty stoked. I wasn't expecting it at all. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, for those of us who don't know, and I don't know either, what exactly is a cafe lead? Can you tell us a little bit about your responsibilities?
Oh, yeah, sure. There's many different things. It's a huge list of responsibilities, but I enjoy it myself. one of the main things is what I really like is teaching our youth ambassadors, our trainees here. So every day we have one of them or two of them. They all rotate, so I get to know them all and teach them all the fun things about our cafe and all our indigenous foods. I keep up with our food inventories. I keep all our foods made and put out properly, and sometimes even the pricing, which is I'm a little nervous of. But of course, I have our chef's help and many other things. I really enjoy making coffees. Everyone likes coffee, especially our trainees. They like learning how to make it. Pretty fun for them. It's fun for me. Yeah, just all in all, meeting new people, people who enjoy our foods and drinks. Great.
So it sounds like it's quite a variety, really.
Yeah,
And I guess every day might be a little bit different.
definitely.
So in theory, if we came in to visit the SLCC someday, are you ever right behind the counter? Like, would we ever see you serving at the cafe, or are you usually more behind the scenes?
Yeah, I'll always be in front of the counter. Yeah, I'll always be up there. I'm kind of the main worker for it. So yeah, if come by, you'll see me.
We have Beth Ann on, or sorry, Beth Amy, pardon me, saying that she misses your coffees.
Oh, thank you, Beth.
Oh, Beth used to be in IYA as well, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
recognizing her little
Beth was my
picture.
coworker.
Nice, nice. Yes, I know. I've had many a delicious coffee at the Thunderbird Cafe. Um, Now, okay, so you get to train IYAs, you get to do a little bit of organizational stuff, you
Yes.
get to serve the public. Do you have a favorite part of your job, or is it all about the variety?
Favorite part of my job? Um, it would be a little bit of everything, but overall, it's seeing my coworkers, Theodora, Maggie, Felix, our trainees, our other cafe workers. It's always fun to hang out with them. A lot of laughs, a lot of joking, but they do teach me a lot, and that's how I got to where I am today. It's because of my leaders.
It's so awesome to hear. We've spoken to Maggie, we've spoken to Allison, and it's so cool to hear the sort of progression from IYA to staff, maybe into a permanent position. It's really awesome to hear that journey that you've all been on. Do you have a feeling? Do any of your current IYAs, do they want to go into the food service industry? Are they kind of eyeing a job at the Thunderbird Cafe?
It's hard to tell. Usually, each group that we go through, I always ask them like, what do they like about the program? What do they want to know more about? It's different answers at the beginning and the end. I usually don't really get anything out of them till the end when they decide, but they all like it.
And I guess that's the beauty of the program, that they do get to try everything, so they
Yeah,
can really figure out what they love. Now let's talk about food. So you mentioned that you started as a dishwasher
yeah,
during the breakfasts. Now, does that mean sort of the tour group, like the big bus tour groups that you guys would
yeah,
typically serve?
yeah. So we used to serve a minimum of 40 people per buffet, and those groups would go up to like I don't know, 100 or two people in one morning, which is pretty bizarre, but it's a great experience. I enjoy seeing a lot of the people from around the world to come enjoy our food.
Now, hopefully, those people will be back soon.
Hopefully.
We have to cross our fingers.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, while locals can visit the Thunderbird
Yeah.
Cafe, can you tell us a little bit about the menu right now?
The cafe menu?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we have our everyday venison chili, our salmon chowder. We have our Bannock taco, which is really popular. but I'd say the most popular one would be our salmon chowder. People come for it like early in the morning to get some, and they it's really good. We have a lot of different specials throughout different weeks. We'll do some sandwich specials or some different kinds of wraps or
Mm-hmm.
special salads. It's different every week. I can't really put a finger on it. It's just come check it out.
Olivia says, I like it when you make grilled cheese.
We do have I like to call it our secret menu, but I
Oh.
I, I always give it to families that come in for their children.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically one of our fried bannock with
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of melted cheese in the middle.
Ooh, that
Something not
sounds amazing.
Yeah, something not too much but not too little. It's
Mm-hmm.
really
Mm-hmm.
good. I like it.
Yeah, that sounds excellent. Now, you say that the salmon chowder is probably the most popular dish,
I'd
but
say
what's your favorite?
so. Ooh, I really enjoy our bannock taco.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for something to really fill you up, I'd recommend that.
Mm-hmm. Maggie and I chatted about the Bannock taco
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah,
It's so good. It's just so good.
just so good. You can't not have it.
Hmm. And now, speaking of Bannock, is the breaking, or sorry, not breaking, that's, we're doing Breaking Bannock right now, is the Bringing Home the Bannock program coming back this spring?
I would believe so. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it's one of our very popular, and it especially goes around the COVID restrictions. You could
Mm-hmm.
order online, come pick it up. Easy as that. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't feel like cooking,
Mm-hmm.
we have such a good menu on there. I haven't tried everything on it yet, but I really enjoy our bannock donuts on
Oh,
it. Our most popular item.
yes. I also love those. The one with the rhubarb filling
Ooh,
is,
yeah.
oh, it was just so good.
Sometimes we'll have those in the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know when. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
surprise.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's a bad option. So,
Yeah,
whatever you get when you
definitely.
drop by, to go with one of those coffees that Tylas will
Oh,
make you.
definitely.
And do you play any part in the Bringing Home the Bannock program? Do you have a role in that, or are you focused
Um,
more on serving in person?
I am focused more on serving in person in the cafe, but I do help them
Mm-hmm.
every day with all their prep and all their cleanup and all that.
Mm-hmm.
A little part.
Mm-hmm. I think it was Moody who delivered my last Bringing
Oh
Home the
yeah,
Bannock.
yeah.
Is so he's still doing the deliveries.
I believe so.
Okay, yeah.
I'll have to
Uh,
check in more.
well, for those of you who are listening on Facebook, Moody will be our next guest on this series. We're talking to Moody this time next Thursday, so you can tune in to meet Moody and hear about his job as manager of operations. Well, that's great. So let's now, Tylis, let's just make sure our audience knows all about what to expect when they visit your building now that you're open again. So I would assume, because you're wearing a mask, that masks are still required.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Opening day, we're excited, we're ready,
Mm-hmm.
we're confident.
Mm-hmm.
We are COVID safe still. Masks are still mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
We have sanitizer stations everywhere throughout the building. Come and enjoy our beautiful building,
Mm-hmm.
our wonderful people here.
Mm-hmm. Do you know, are your coworkers still doing tours on the hour?
No.
They're
So
not.
no.
Okay.
So we are. It is all self-guided, but we will
Gotcha.
have all our cultural leaders in
Mm-hmm.
there to guide guests around,
Mm-hmm.
answer questions, or if they get lost,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Yeah, we are open for the museum, but
Mm-hmm.
no group tours.
No group tours. Well,
Yeah,
yes, that sounds very sensible in our in our current situation.
yeah,
But it's great to know that your all the staff will be there to answer questions and help people out throughout the building. That's very exciting. So I did want to ask you because obviously there's more to life than just work. So I'm wondering, what does Tylas do when he's not at work? Do you have hobbies, or what do you get up to in your free time?
Um, Not too much lately because, stay home, COVID,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
keep everyone safe. But I did like to do a lot of baking myself for home,
Oh.
trying new things. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'd like to put this out in the cafe one day,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Some food items, like
Mm-hmm.
give some ideas to my coworkers in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not doing that, I used to work with our youth center a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
loved hanging out with the youth and late wet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I used to assist in their youth program, which
Mm-hmm.
we held video games and board games every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
That I really enjoyed,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's kind of stay home, stay safe.
Yes, of course. Well, hopefully you can get back to doing more of that
Yeah.
in a little while. It doesn't feel too far off now.
Other than that, I like being at work.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Well,
being here.
that is a glowing. That's really a glowing statement about the SLCC because I think a lot of your coworkers would agree with that. They just love being there. And it's very cool to hear that you experiment with baking and cooking
Yeah.
at home. I wonder if we'll see any of your experiments appear at the cafe.
Stay tuned.
That's pretty exciting. And of course, you were telling me before we went live that you didn't really know that you would be interested in cooking as a teenager. It's something that came to you just through the process of working at the SLCC, right?
Yeah, so when I started here, it was actually my first time working with food in a
Mm-hmm.
kitchen. I didn't know how to do anything, but I did learn quite a bit over the
Mm-hmm.
past 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
This April marks my first day,
Mm-hmm.
4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I started my IYA program in the springtime
Mm-hmm.
in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Went on for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best program I've ever taken. It was so much fun. A
Mm-hmm.
lot to experience. We got to
Mm-hmm.
learn a lot about this place, how this place came to be, and what we
Mm-hmm.
do here, and all our great people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And of course there's a session ongoing right now. Is that correct? Of IYAs?
Yes, there is
Mm-hmm.
a group current right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are mid to late in their program.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're almost done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we have a good group of six, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
from both nations.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Back then,
Uh,
we used to do about 10 or 12.
mm, hmm I think I remember Allison saying that the smaller, because of COVID, there are
Yeah,
slightly smaller groups, but maybe they're staying for a little bit longer.
a little bit, yes, I
Yeah,
believe, a little bit.
yeah. hmm Well, thank you so much, Tylas. I don't want to keep you too long because I know that you guys are actually open and
Yeah,
you probably have tasks elsewhere. But I want to confirm for everybody who's watching, and hello again. There's lots of folks watching on Facebook. Thank you everybody for being here and tuning in for my chat with Tylas. As I mentioned, we are speaking to Moody Dan next Thursday, June 3rd. The next session after that is June 10th, and we're going to be speaking to Ryla Sampson, and she works in the accounting department. And then, last but not least, we will be talking to Victoria Saddleman on June 24th, and she works in the retail department at the SLCC. So we're really getting to hear a little bit of we're getting to kind of see behind the scenes in almost every department, which is pretty cool. And of course, I also should mention that as of today, because the SLCC is open, the Border X traveling exhibit is also open as of today. I was asking Tylas about it, and he was saying that it has its own dedicated space in the museum. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. And for those of you who haven't heard about that exhibit, it is Border X. So it's sort of the snowboarding, skateboarding, and surf culture, and how those cultures intersect with Indigenous culture. So all of the artists are Indigenous, I believe, from all across Canada, but there are some local artists featured in the exhibit. I was lucky enough to see this exhibit 2 years ago at the Rooms in St. John's, Newfoundland, and it just blew me away. So I can't wait to stop by, get a coffee from Tylas, get a Bannock donut, hang out in the Thunderbird Cafe, and then go check out the Border X exhibit. Um, Tylas, anything we've missed? Anything else you want to say about the SLCC or about your time there? Um, what do you think? Final words.
Um, it's just an amazing place, amazing people, great culture, great food. Come check us out. We're open Thursday to Sunday, 10 till 4.
Mm.
Bring your mask.
Bring your mask, wash your hands,
Yeah,
and stay distanced.
stay safe,
Um,
everyone.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tylas. I know I can't wait to visit the SLCC sometime very soon, and check out all of your awesome services and say hello to all the staff and maybe meet you in person.
Yeah, I'll be here every day.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I think that is it. I really hope that everybody everybody watching on Facebook will join us again next week for my conversation with Moody. In the meantime, if you've enjoyed this conversation, the video will be available on Facebook, on the SLCC's Facebook, for you to share with friends or watch again. You can also watch our conversations with Allison and Maggie, which have already taken place. And otherwise, I think it's time for Tylas and I to say goodbye to Facebook. Bye, everybody.
Good. Thank you, Jenna, for having me.
Happy to chat. Bye, everybody.